Hello everybody and welcome back to the newest episode of the Talking Wolves podcast. This is the final one before the start of the 1920 Premier League season. I know we only did one a couple of weeks ago, but due to popular demand, before we do another one, we might do this a little bit more often. The original plan was to do a monthly podcast, but we figured fortnightly and that will fit into our schedules quite well. As always, my name is Dave and I'm joined with the double dunker, Matt Cooper. How's it going?
Alright, mate, well.
And Tom Rouse, how's it going?
Yeah, great. Yes.
Apparently the spread wasn't big enough last week. Someone made a comment.
Yeah, someone made a comment about the biscuits, so we thought we'd go all out. We got Maryland digestives. What are these?
Raffaello's.
Raffaello's.
You've been linked with us all summer.
Yeah.
Dairy box from Nestle. Other chocolates and biscuits are available, and if any of them want to sponsor us, then drop us a DM.
Cadbury's one of the
Yes,
sponsors.
Cadbury's want to
Please
drop a
get in
DM. Anyway, today we're going to be talking obviously about everything that has been going on the last couple of weeks. Crusaders, transfers, and a little pre-season preview as well. We've asked
Pre-season preview? We've done that, haven't we?
Premier League preview,
Finished?
sorry. We've asked people at home what they think, and we'll also give our thoughts as well. What?
You're having a night, me.
At home? The people
asked-
at home? What?
You've asked people at home. You've asked your mum and dad. And the dogs.
I don't know,
what
they might have tweeted, I don't know. Alright, anyway.
You asked people on
carry
Twitter.
on.
Yeah, you've asked
I've
people
asked people on Twitter, or people at home,
Well done, Dave.
the listeners at home,
He's shaking like a shitting leaf.
whatever.
That'll get edited out now. Really.
No, it's
We'll
not.
like
It'll
that.
stay in. I've lost, and obviously questions off everybody as well. But we'll start off with the Crusaders games, the two legs. First leg, and start off Thursday night at Molineux, sold out crowd. Tom, we'll start off with you. I think you'll have quite conservative views on this match.
Will I? I did go, yeah. It was very, very
Did you go?
slow and
Yeah.
painful. But got the job done ultimately, and it was very, very hot that night, if you remember. 30 odd degrees. But I don't think that can be used as a...
How many did we have?
They can't use that as an excuse because they'd just been in China, which was as hot and less humid, or more humid than it was at Molineux. But it just highlighted the problems that we had last year in that we can't break teams down. Maybe the players that we're going to bring in this week will help.
Very sort of side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But to be fair, credit to Crusaders, and this is where it stops for me in terms of crediting Crusaders.
Don't like them.
It's just this love affairs, a load of bollocks. I thought they were very well organised. Maybe more organised than teams we'd seen last season.
Yeah.
They did the job and only conceded 2 goals, and they didn't. Well, they probably had more attacking threat than Brighton did last season.
Yeah. They've played in European competition more than we have as well, and they're used to just trying to not lose 5-0. And they came and if they'd have won that game 1-0, if we'd have won 1-0 like we should have done, and they keep on cocked up in the last minute, I think we'd have been sweating a bit more going to Belfast, particularly when they scored in the first minute or so, or whenever that was, first 15
Well, I
minutes.
thought they'd scored in the first leg. You know that volley? Because I was sat in the Billy Wright upper, because I'd let my brother sit with my dad in the North Bank, and from where I was, it obviously hit the stanchion, didn't it? Went behind the goal.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd like hit the post and gone in. I was like, you are joking.
You can tell that like I've sat in that seat now for 2 years, and you judge by the reaction of the people in the South Bank and stuff where it's going. But that did make me sweat, that first shot that they had, because I can't remember where I heard it, but there was a Crusaders fan talking on a podcast somewhere, and they said that if they won a corner, they would celebrate. And I think did that come from a corner, or a corner came from that?
It got flicked out.
I was thinking, oh god, we are going to lose to these, or we're not going to beat them.
But I mean, in regards to the first leg, there was a lot of, I thought, negative press after that from Wolves fans. But in my personal point of view, like you said, it's still for us. We haven't, it's still pre-season, so it wasn't going to be a high tempo 6th gear Wolves side going at Crusaders.
Yeah.
It was, we had Morgan Gibbs-White, who was a makeshift striker, starting the game as well.
He wasn't makeshift.
Who we'll talk about after. I actually thought, we have full control. Other than that volley you just spoke about, I don't think Crusaders came in our half. Other than that, did they really? So I can see where people's concerns were, but I think the majority of fans expected to drive up to Molineux and watch us knock 6 or 7 past them. And I think that's what when people after the game sort of disappointed.
I went with my grandfather, who obviously remembers football in the 70s and the 80s and whatever, when it was just like wingers bombing forward and whatever, and you would score 3, 4, 5 goals against a team like that. And he was just saying how this possession-based football now that is in trend, and keeping possession. Yeah, they're never going to score, but they never came to score. Really, we should have just been running at them. Traore should have been. I mean, he was playing against the Plaster or whatever the left back was, and he one assist that he got. He didn't contribute to the second, did he? And he didn't look ever like scoring or winning a penalty or anything like that. I think he
was playing right wing back.
He played better. Yeah, but against them, he was playing in their final third more than he was playing in ours. He played better than he had done previously, but he should have done better against an amateur team.
With Adama, the one point that I saw where it was in the second half. The one time where he actually threatened was when he wasn't on the wing. He picked the ball up on the wing, but ran across. When he's running at that speed against that quality of players and running across rather than sort of running like down the wing, you don't know where he's going to go. Someone sticks a leg out, he goes down, you win anything. And he got a shot that was blocked by Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
That I think probably would have gone in, or at least very much tested their goalkeeper. But that was the only time he did anything different to sort of running down the wing.
Yeah.
But I don't think his distribution was too bad. I saw a lot of hate for his crosses. But I think a lot of his crosses were met, just not with any conviction or power.
The little floated ones that he does, like, obviously you want it really drilled across, but if someone's arriving late, it's a tap in, but just no one was, and I think maybe Den Donker maybe should be getting forward a little bit more there.
I think this is what Cutrone is going to add to the team, because Jimenez and Jota don't wait in the box.
They're not poachers, are they?
No, but I think he's going to come into the box, and the goals that we've seen him score on YouTube, they look like. But his ball into the box has got better, but it's not anywhere near. If he could whip a ball in, he'd be getting 15, 20 assists every season, because he gets past every single fullback, but then he cannot wrap his foot round it and whip it in. If he just drilled it across the 6-yard box, we're going to score 10 more goals.
He takes it past him and slows down a little bit, doesn't he? I think he's a bit hesitant, but
yeah, he's all power all the time. I can't remember at what point of the game, but he'd gone past somebody, was running at full pelt, and then tried to just pass the ball into Gibbs White. But because he's so full on, he belted it out for a goal kick, because he's so 100% all the time.
Yeah. He got a lot of stick for that performance, and it really annoyed me, as people saw on Twitter. It's like, good to see Adama can do it against Farmers. Well, how about players out there who were rubbish, who didn't do it against the Farmers? Why aren't you picking on them? The likes of Gibbs White. Even Neves, he even needed a snorkel, he was that deep.
He had so much space though, and I haven't seen him have so much space ever.
The thing is with Neves though, I noticed, especially in the first half, as soon as he got the ball, at least one Crusaders player was in front of him.
I didn't see that at all. They were sitting right off him from
when he was deep, they didn't. But as soon as he got within like 20 yards, I think they knew he was going to be the outlet to either pass it or have a shot. Right. So I think that's why he struggled a little bit.
He did at the beginning of last season as well, if you remember.
But I think overall, as I said before, it was like for me a pre-season tempo. They knew Wolves didn't want to go out of their way to score 6 or 7 at the risk of more injuries or problems with fatigue and so on. And as I say, I just wish, especially sort of like Adama, we saw it, just tried something different. We were trying those balls in the box for 50, 60 minutes, and the one time he did try something different and run across, he did cause that issue.
What do you think of playing with Cody in a back three against a team like that?
It's no need.
Exactly. It's like playing with 10 men in it, because he had nothing to do other than a little bit of tidying up when they booted the ball over the halfway line.
Yeah, but anyone could have sorted that out. Yeah. One of us could have.
So what do you mean, like push him forward or push someone else into another midfielder?
Against a team like that, we need to have more attacking players, more attacking options, an extra man in midfield or something like that. Playing with Cody is just like,
Or even if Cody sat at the back but played another attacking player, just playing with 2 at the back, you mean?
Yeah, 2 at the back. Yeah.
But the only issue, I agree with you. The only issue I think you can see with that, I think with the way we play, you've got 3 at the back, and your fullbacks can literally play as attacking wingers. If you play that same way but only have 2 at the back, you are. I mean, against Crusaders, I know it's. It
should have been very easy to see after the first 10 minutes. They're not going to come out of their own half and play football, so we can afford to. Like Cody, you're a midfielder. We signed you as a midfielder. Go and play in midfield for an hour. I mean, anybody could have played in midfield against.
When the only thing you've got to deal with is a clearance and someone chasing that down, you don't need 3 centre halves. I know Bolly obviously was coming forward with the ball, bringing it into his own half more than Bennett was, but
Bennett was doing that as well then.
I know,
not as much.
Yeah, not as much. Not as much. But it's just no need. And we said that last season. Even it seems like Brighton. Well, what's the need to play 3 at the back?
I think Nuno, when he came, was I think he was. They talked about him at Valencia and Porto being this very, very defensive-minded coach. And we've only conceded 1 goal in pre-season so far, but apart from the behind closed doors ones, and that was an own goal against Crusaders now. So he prides himself on defence first, and then a goal will eventually come.
But
you can't win if you concede 2
If we're like 2-0 up and battering someone, you never ever really see us going for the kill, do you?
No, that's what's annoying. Last Thursday in the away leg, we should have. I know we won 4-1, but we scored 3 in the first half, and we didn't come out in the second half at all.
I was disappointed at that. Obviously, we'll go into the second leg a bit more in a second, but for us to score the 3 goals, I thought, right, shooting at Wolves fans now, could see another 2 or 3, could see a 6 or 7-1, but yeah, they just didn't threat as much as they wanted to.
On the other hand, then looking at it objectively, thinking, well, the job is done, let's not pick up any injuries or suspensions or something silly, let's just all get out of here intact.
Well, yeah, that's as we saw. So obviously moving on to the second leg, I think everyone was still pretty confident, although we were disappointed, weren't we, with most fans were disappointed with that first leg. And going into the second leg, obviously when I flew to Belfast, the first thing that happened outside the airport was the guy that picked us up in the taxi. We were wearing a Wall shirt. He goes, "Oh, it'll be 3-0 Crusaders tonight." You're like, "Oh yeah, very funny." Then you walk into the shopping centre. Another guy, 3-0 Crusaders tonight. You're like, "Oh yeah." So I thought, I'll actually look at the odds. No bookies were putting odds of 3-0 Crusaders. Walk into the ground, they go 1-0 up. You're like, it's actually going to happen, isn't it? Like, just convinced that everyone's going.
They had a clearance off the line, wasn't they? Yeah. They've just gone back and cleared off the line. Yeah. I was just thinking, it's typical Wolves. We're going to not be able to beat Crusaders.
Yeah, I was actually worried, but then obviously they scored that goal. They got the big lump up top, and I think playing those balls up to him, he was going to win everything, wasn't he?
He bullied everyone apart from he didn't peel off onto Bolly, but Bennett and Cody were just getting bullied.
I think again, Cody cannot cope, even against an amateur centre forward who's bigger than him.
It's that height, though, isn't it? So I think the only other time I've seen him struggle like that was against Mitrovic.
Mitrovic and Rondon, he's been beaten every time, and
they're not in the league next season, thank God.
Oh. So Cody being in the England team now.
Let's talk about that first goal though, the Crusaders one. Cody ball watching.
I think it was a good goal.
Bennett.
I know it was an own goal, but
donut. Absolute donut. He switches off so much.
Yeah, but that tackle against Chelsea then.
No, because Willian has just scored it anyway. He just switches off too much. For me.
I don't know if you can blame him too much. I think it was a good ball into the box.
It was a good cross, but yeah, he probably...
Patricio, could he have come and claimed it? I think if we'd have been watching Matt Murray or somebody, he would have come out that far and claimed it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, but then he'd have caught it and kicked it into the row there.
Oh, when Patricio's warming up with his kicks, you know when they do the kicks to like the halfway line, and the blokes, all of them were going out, and they're like, ooh. So I don't know what's worse, the kicks or his top that he was wearing that.
Back to square one.
Yeah, seemed to get top.
It seemed a very small, tight pitch as well on telly.
Oh my god, it was tiny. Yeah, honestly, looking at it, it was like it was really small. It was like more. It was more square than like a length of the pitch. But yeah, you could tell. It was like playing at goals at Darlaston or something like that. Like the pitch.
Jimenez looked so sharp though.
Both of his goals.
Yeah,
so
the first one was better for me.
I don't know.
That swivel. He swiveled on a sixpence.
He's done that like against Man U and Spurs. Both goals are very similar. But he does that so quick. The goalkeeper, before the goalkeeper has time to set himself up,
so
the balls roll past him.
He's just an athlete, isn't he?
Yeah. I think it's good to see how much confidence he's got as well. He had a very good season last year. Went away with Mexico and got the player of the tournament, didn't he? And then he's come back after a little bit.
Golden boot as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going to be one to watch this season.
Okay, forward to. I know a lot of people. We'll talk about that after. A lot of people picking up Jota as well to be in that that player to sort of overtake Jimenez, and you know he may well be, but Jimenez is still looking ultra sharp, isn't he?
The only thing that worries me about Jimenez, he's not now. It's towards the end of the season when he's fatigued. Because he's going to be sound now. He's had a couple of weeks off. He's been playing.
But we've got an extra striker to help.
Crouton.
Patrick Crouton.
Crouton,
to ease the workload. There's 3 of them now. 3 top young strikers who should be able to, between the 3 of them and the extra competition and whatever. And then if we sign somebody else or one of the younger players who can come in perhaps and play the League Cup and whatever. Who? Lemonina. Yeah. Is he a striker?
Neto. We'll talk about him. Not Aldi, Neto.
Yeah.
We'll finish off that Crusaders game then. Overall, 4 goals. We're through to the next round.
That's all that we needed really, was to just get through. What was a difficult game at Crusaders, not so much at Molyneux, but it was a...
It came out at us a little bit more.
Yeah,
I think
that helped us a little bit.
Yeah, it helped us. But it just caught us by surprise a little bit, I think, as well. Yeah.
Well, they weren't going to sit back and just let us win, were they?
Yeah.
They were going to come out and have have a game.
So I was watching it on a stream. It was like 2 minutes behind, and flash scores come on my phone. And it was like goal. I was like, oh, even as a score, I was like, you are fucking. Like, this can't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening already.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, but overall, so next round, I don't even know the team's name.
Punic.
Punic
FC
in
Punic.
Armenia. Let's have a prediction of the amount of Wolves fans that will be there.
I'm going to count them on one hand.
Yeah.
So 7. 6 fingers. Yeah.
As long as we get through.
Let's just hope it's on telly as well.
Well,
I think Premier Sports, does their budget reach to Armenia?
we might have to watch it on CFAX.
Yeah, Seabags. Get the red button on.
I genuinely don't think there'll be. Will there be live commentary? Probably not.
I don't know if is Nathan Judah and Tim Spears, are they going? I know that Judah put up jokingly that he was looking at Skyscanner and looking at flights, but
It's like $3,000. I need to get out there.
I know. And for the Express and Star themselves, the cost of that will be to the organisation. They're not going to pay $7,000 to send 2 reporters,
No.
are they?
Especially now Spears is on the way out.
Wait, what? What's $7,000? The
It's like
flight?
$3,000 the flights.
$3,000
Nah.
each.
No, it's like you can get there 350 to 500 quid. Well, I mean, with their wages and stuff as well, you're gonna have to pay for their expenses and everything. Yeah?
Judah's got an expensive taste as well.
Yeah. Well, I think there is an expensive option in Armenia, isn't there?
No.
No. In regards to the playoff round, obviously at the time of recording, by the time the podcast is out, the Wolves would have been drawn for the playoff round. So if we do beat Punic, we've got some tough teams that we can face off against in the playoff round. So Torino or some Belarusian team, Shakhtar Solgorsk, Ventspils in Latvia or Vitoria. Vitoria would be a
That'll
good
be
one.
good
They're
one
in
for the Portuguese.
Portugal.
Yeah.
Austria Vienna or Apollon Limassol in Cyprus.
Don't want them.
Or Midtjylland
Vienna.
versus Rangers. There are some tough
Don't
games.
want the midget lands.
Midtjylland played against United, didn't they, in the quarter-final or something like that a couple of years back?
Pione Sisto and Alexander Soloff of them,
Yeah,
midget land, weren't they?
they've all gone now and there.
Yeah.
But there are some tough games. On paper, you'd think Wolves would beat them, but Torino, I know we've talked about Rangers.
Is it Vitoria, the Portuguese team?
Yeah, that'd be
That's the
good.
one that's beatable.
Yeah,
It's like-
I think that's the best. That's the best.
You're
draw
right in the
out
home leg, but like Austria Vienna, or like Limassol, or even like Torino's.
Torino, I think Torino would be the toughest.
Horrible place to go. Never been.
Belotti, man. Belotti's up top for them.
Is it?
Yeah, Belotti. That'd be a tough game, but we'll have to see. Hopefully, it's number 1 versus number 6, so we do get Ventspils or Vitoria.
And then once we win that,
that's the
if
group
we
stage.
win that, we're into the group stages, aren't we?
Yeah. So
We'll get some shit group knowing us. We'll get.
You'll have one good team because we won't be the top seed, will we, in the group? I wouldn't have thought.
Well, I don't know because AC Milan.
you probably
We're not replacing AC Milan, though, are we? We're
No, we
we're
won't be.
replacing their
It will be the
seed,
teams like Arsenal, United that are going to
Yeah.
be top seed because they
and
qualify
there's
straight.
a Roma in this competition.
A Roma.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine that Roma. Roma would be a difficult team.
But they're a top seed. We're not going to be top
They
seed.
need to come second now.
We'll be second. Swansea City got out of the bloody group stage when they played in it 6 years ago.
Yeah, but
So
they had
we-
Nietzsche.
Yeah, and they might have had Boney at that point as well.
Yeah. I was trying to see if I could see the teams in there, but I don't know. I'll have a look after.
There's some good teams in there though.
Yeah.
Just hope for a decent draw. We've only got to come second, haven't you, to qualify?
Yeah. But I think if you finish second, you play
Seeded
the
team,
Here we go.
Champions League.
These are the teams that are all already in it. So pot 1, you got Sevilla, Arsenal, Roma, United, Besiktas, Sporting, or CSK Moscow.
Yeah, so we won't
So
be in that.
Sporting would be a good
So
one.
you'll get one of them.
Pot 1 or 2, which I think depends on who comes through. Wolfsburg, Lazio, and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Seeding to be decided: San Etienne, Getafe, Standard Liège, Rennes, and then pot 3 or 4: Wolfsberger from Austria, Alexandria from Ukraine, or Lugano from Switzerland.
I think we
We've
beat
been
all of those
Our
apart from
CC,
Lazio.
our seeding points,
And
I think it's.
the top 6.
I think it'll be. I'd assume it'll be second seed.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
But yeah, interesting. So that is Europa League talk, and obviously we're moving on to transfers now. Since the last time we met, Wolves have announced a number of new signings. So we'll start off with the first one that came through the door, Jesus Vallejo. So it first came in the news.
Vallejo.
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 How did you find that out?
Gully from the Fancast put a video up on Twitter saying it was a
Was him
Spanish.
talking?
No, it was.
So I had to go on Google and type in Jesus
Well,
Vallejo and see how it was announced.
That's what I did. But there is a pronunciation
Vallejo.
guide on YouTube if you're really interested.
Nah, I'll say no. Yeah, someone else commented on it straight away. Vallejo.
I've had lots of Spanish people coming up and just writing ba ye or
It's
Yeah.
a V's, a B's.
Visa B.
Yeah, but we're lazy.
It's not.
We'll just say Vallejo. It came as a bit of a
Jesus.
yeah.
This was dazzling day. We'll go Vallejo.
Legio. It came. Well, Marsa broke it on Thursday before the Crusaders game, about lunchtime. Very quickly followed up by Tim Spears, the Express Star. It's probably one of those.
And then I saw George Mendes at the Crusaders game, so that
Yeah, that confirmed it.
Well,
it was almost one of.
We didn't see Jesus.
Well, I didn't know what he looked like.
It was one of them
Got
vintage.
2 nails in his arms.
Vintage Fosun signings where you know about it the one day and it happens within the day or so after. So
Well, we're just prepubescent teens who haven't got a clue anymore.
we don't have a clue, Matt.
No.
So we were one of the first Walls pages to tweet it, but you know.
Come on.
What thoughts on the player, Tom? You probably don't know much about him.
No, I don't know anything. But he came from Real Madrid, so he must be.
He must be all right. Have you seen any YouTube compilations?
Yeah, he looks.
Any dubstep in the background of his compilation.
Of course there was.
Dirty wobbles. Yeah.
Well, there's a bit less because he's a defender, so there's not going to be any
Spanish guitar.
very relaxing and. I can't remember what I thought of him, but it was a couple of weeks ago. I watched it. We have to wait and see when he
Well,
plays.
Christ, this lad can play.
He's going to be better than Ryan Bennett, isn't he? Simple as.
I don't think he's going to start over Bennett. I think he
Maybe
would
not
have
initially.
if Bennett wouldn't have scored that header, like the second one, not the first one. I think that's his saving grace.
I think Jesus will play in the next game, just because it's pre-season still, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
You won't throw him into the Leicester game, but you might throw him into the Punic game.
Yeah, I agree. All the articles I read of him though, he seemed to be a left-sided defender, and he sounded actually very similar to Willy Bolly.
Bolly's right-footed, isn't he? He's been playing on the left for the last 2 years.
He likes that though, apparently.
But I can't see him changing Bolly to like the right and Vallejo.
Well, it'd be like having inside forwards, but it's just centre backs, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's really
Inside.
interesting.
So Sheffield United play a lot of overlapping centre halves, don't they?
Or Phil Jagielka, he couldn't overlap.
No, it's not Jagielka. I can't remember his name though, but they play a lot of overlapping centre
I
halves.
saw that as well.
Stearman.
No, it's not Steve.
No, not that one. I don't know.
Jagielka and Stearman overlap.
Oh,
Jesus.
Arctics.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, so he was number 1 and then quickly followed, I'll say quickly, it took a few more days, but Patrick, here we go,
Paddy Crouton.
Cutrone. I said at the start of the video, I did a Dave on it, I said Cutrone, I said Cutrone,
Cologne.
and then for the rest of the video I was calling him Cutrone, and then people were biting in the comments. I loved it.
You did it on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's Cutrone.
Don't start that. The amount of
awful
crap
The
chance.
best one was the spag bolognese, swapping it for faggots and pays. That's Cutrone. I did like that one. That's fun.
The shit, mate. I'm sorry. It's just, we need to think. As soon as someone say like it's and we like the way you move, Patrick Cutrone. It's just like Liverpool fans are gonna love that, isn't they?
I asked my dad to see if he could pen another
new song.
But he's
Just for people who don't know who your dad is.
oh yeah, he's me old man, as in buzzing of the word. Famous song.
Wasn't the word, and what was the Doherty one?
With Doc on our side.
Didn't do as well though, that one.
No,
It didn't do as well.
Doherty's not as good.
It was the B side too.
The B-side. Remix.
It was a C side.
Yeah, it was the buzzing out the word bootleg remix. So
Tip my coffee all day.
Christ.
That's the fortune that did.
It's a reclined vintage table. You've just
I know,
spilled
sorry,
all
it
over that.
There's all stains on that
So,
side as well.
Just
IKEA.
Invoice me later.
The wonderful everyday.
But yeah, Patrick
IKEA.
Cutrone, they were chanting, "Oh, Patrick Cutrone," and I like that one. But the guy next to me, "Oh, that's crap, that is."
That's Brighton and Bakari song.
Yeah,
What if they play together?
Were people singing at the Crusaders?
That game.
No, the first leg when he runs down the wing, he's as fast as
Yeah,
Adama Traore.
Traore.
I absolutely love that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
It's singing Scotty Sinclair.
they sing it to Scott Sinclair, don't they?
Oh, Adama Traore, he's as fast as lightning, he's frightening, and he makes the wall sing.
I think it's
Oh, that's what that was.
Adama Traore is. Oh yeah, it is that one. Yeah.
What's the Dendonka song?
Oh my
He comes with Dendonka.
Wanderer.
It's shitting on them.
Midfielder or defender, Wanderer. With
With Nuno as his mentor.
Wanderer. He's one of the pack, Wanderer.
Nonce.
No, nonce.
It's a no from me, I'm afraid.
We could have a whole discussion on chant. Yeah, they were singing Cutrone, they got that new Adama chant.
That Adama one's good, I like that. Because everyone can get behind that, all you need to know is the tune.
They were singing On Our Way as well, but I think no one ever knows the words to the last of
Off to Europe.
On our way.
To the Poland.
No,
Or
because
to
I get it there. no.
Oh, that's the easy
All I
bit.
know is
Yeah.
what's I going to do it. Yeah.
How do we
What
get
they
there? I
sing
don't
it-
know. How do we get there? I don't care. All I know is
Yeah, I know.
what's the...
So is it to Europe or to
Off to Europe.
Poland?
Oh, they were singing a Gdansk version. That was crap,
It's a
man.
Gdansk.
Yeah.
Doesn't really, yeah.
It's like the Nuno, take us to the Premier. Didn't
Take
rhyme.
us to Europa.
Zenga.
Take us
That was
to-
elite. That was an elite chant.
We've got to bring back the We're Massive in Italy song as well, but now we've got Cutrone.
Yeah.
That's my
I did
favourite
like
chant ever.
Champions of Asia. You'll never
Yeah,
sing
yeah,
that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, they've done that.
I hope we sing that all season.
Yeah.
When Leicester sing Champions of England,
Yeah.
you'll never
Yeah,
sing
they'll
Champions
definitely
of
sing.
Asia. You'll never sing that.
Yeah. Anyway, we've gone on a bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
Cutrone.
Yeah, he looks
decided-
good on YouTube again.
Yeah.
Another
I
one.
tell you what, he's a beautiful bastard. Isn't he?
Yeah. 16 million plus 4 million in bonuses. Only about 40 grand a week, reportedly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
not too bad.
somebody said 150 grand in there. originally.
HITC on it.
Yeah.
S-H-I-T.
Oh, did you know? If you read the article, he goes, as reported on whatever Italian source he was. So he links the Italian source. He's on about 150 grand a week. So I clicked the Italian source and it said on 2 million a year. You fucking do the maths.
Christ, won't him do
Yeah.
my books. How about
I'm
you
an
not say the door, I
HITC
think?
on the VAT flipping. heck.
On the VAT.
I know. Well, yeah, I think that's a good sign. I mean, when he was first linked, he was quite highly touted as a.
I mean,
one
when
of
we
those
were
young
linked
top
with him and
players.
Moise Ken, who's was signed for Everton.
Well, that's another pronunciation. Moise Ken.
Moise Ken, yeah.
I call him
Moise
Moise
Keane.
Keane. Yeah. Roy Keane.
Yeah, Moise Ken. I was like, yeah, get him in over Cutrone. But I think it's a brilliant piece of business, especially for like 15, 16 million pounds. It's pretty much risk free, really.
Would you rather have Ollie McBurney for 20 million or Patrick Cutrone for 16? That's mad, ain't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Boris is Britain, mate. Go and
It's a great
Perth.
signing, but he wasn't first choice, I don't think, for Wolves as a transfer target.
Tammy Abraham or something.
He's number 9 for
Only
Chelsea. this
40
year.
million for him as well, isn't
Can you imagine that?
But yeah, I think it's a good bit of business, especially with the amount of games we've got, and he's a different option to what we've got.
Yeah.
People say, oh, he's similar to Jimenez. That's because he's a big fella and, well, biggish, and he's not a Jota. So,
And he knows Calvin Harris, so there's pre-match light
Yeah.
shows.
well, I
Elite.
think he more knows Andre Olivia as a DJ.
I
That's
don't
probably
know,
what he's
yeah.
an Italian fella.
I don't know. He
I
was
know
around
Tom,
10 years
I
ago.
like
It's
Tom
a
likes his
tech
celebration.
house,
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, Darwin Cutrone scored.
Walking the snot off his foot.
It's going to be that lad in the mask doing it, innit? When he
Oh,
scores.
Oh, that
so-
fat Mexican fella. Andy Ruiz.
Yeah. So we've got those two. Andy Ruiz. And the other two, I don't even know their names. Jordao and Neto, is
It's
it?
Pedro Neto and Bruno Jordao.
To be honest, I'd never heard of
What's
him.
their
Where did you get
potential
him from?
ability? What's their potential ability on the Football Manager?
Go on.
Well, Pedro Neto's 147 potential and
Out of what?
200 and
That's Premier League level, by the way.
Bruno Jordao is 149. So I'm going to hand it over to Avra as an FM expert
Yes, so
That's
and
a
researcher in chief.
That's no, honestly, that is a good level.
Who at Wolves is on that kind of level?
I think Jota is about that, like current ability. That's about him now.
Yeah.
So if that's their potential, like that, FM reckons they're going to be as good as Jota or whatever, which isn't bad. Really.
What's Jota's potential
Got
ability?
160, isn't it?
Possibly a tad lower, but yeah, in and around that. Good.
And what's that? Work
Because
class.
if saying that though,
That's
Jota
like
this
top
year on
Europa
Football
League,
Manager
isn't it?
goes on to like if you manage right, he goes on to like I've seen him at like Madrid and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, FM talk.
That could happen in real life as well.
It could.
Realistically.
But
this isn't bloody
but these two,
5-star podcast.
hey,
those
that's one
two
of the best
kids,
podcasts out there.
those two kids. That's the only way that we can really judge them is by computer games because and it's what Everton use it, Watford use it as a
Well, it's one of the
database,
most comprehensive databases in
Yeah.
the world. So
so you can laugh at it. Or
I
you
do
like
it,
it,
so I do. I think anyone shouldn't judge the Wolves stuff because I do it, and I don't have a clue half the time. Like,
I think when I first saw that signing, I was like,
We won't talk about
as
it.
Pedro Neto or Neto, however it's pronounced.
Aldi.
Look, as a lot highly rated. I'm not sure about Bruno Jordao, but I thought I've only brought Neto and Jordao doing Mendes a favour. It's obviously Neto is the fella we're bringing in. But reading into it a little bit more, I think they do rate the pair of them. Obviously Pedro Neto's the more high rated of the two, but for 18 million again, £9 million each. They only need a few good games. We're going to make a profit on them.
It's squad depth as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've lost Costa and Cavallero, who were two bodies that could come off the bench and contribute sometimes. But
Good bodies, really.
yeah, they were. But these two are bodies with a little bit more potential, so hopefully they can contribute something a little bit more than those two.
But
did.
like Farewell said in like the press release, the pressure's off with him. They are first team players, but we're going to.
At the same time, they have spent a big, fair chunk of money on the pair of them, haven't they? Like a lot more than I think you'd imagine.
It's I don't know how to think now about the next week, either the last week of the transfer window, because you'd add Jimenez and Dendoncker, and I know Johnny was in January, but this calendar year, you add all that money together, we're close to 100 million now, aren't we, across the year. So I can't imagine that we go out and spend 30 million on one more player this week.
I think
we do. Because we did a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I said yes, and you said no.
I think we will now.
I don't know, because it was just... I know that we're in the last year of the 3 financial fair play. Is that right?
God knows.
I'm sure somebody told me the other day.
Because it's a 3
year cycle, so we're in the last year of the cycle. But because we got promoted, I think we can make an £89 million loss.
£89 loss. Shoestring budget.
That's what I'm
I think we well off that though. I think we well off that because with the way financial fair play works, though, you should be okay. Yeah.
I don't think folks are about to invest loads of money to balance the books. I think so the season ticket price is going up and the match day price is going up a little bit. The sales of Costa and Cavaliero, which will come in next year, which will help us in the next 3-year cycle to invest more money.
Cav's only an option though, isn't it? It's not obligation.
I thought they were both
obliged.
Cav's an option. Costa's obligation. Rafa Mir's got an option as well.
Yeah. Well, it's all money that's going to come in next summer and then balance the books and start for the next 3
years. I think we will, but say Lamina, I can honestly see us learning him.
That's the rumour. So Lamina obviously was linked.
18 million.
Not Thursday, just on the Thursday before by Sky, but it said that it wasn't Wolves' top option, but it's a player he's looking at. But I think even then, I mean, I'm not an avid outside of Wolves. I don't tend to watch loads and loads.
I really like him.
But whenever I've seen him, he looks
really like him. He's that added bit of dynamism.
But like when I've seen
dynamism that we lack.
When I've seen Southampton fans talk about him, a lot of them just really want to get rid of him. But I think it's not about his quality; it's about his attitude. Because I think at the start of the summer, he knew he wanted to go, so he's not been sort of.
Hassan Hootal's like he even dropped Ward Prowse and players like Charlie Austin. No, Charlie Austin's a bag of shit. But,
it's a joke.
for their attitude, and I think Lamina's probably one of them. But he was at Juventus, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Their record signing at the time.
When I've seen him, he's looked brilliant. He's one of those who, in tight spaces, can get out and drive, which is what we need.
Yeah. Against those teams down the bottom of the table, it's what we were lacking. We just need.
But Frank Kessie's the same.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing, Frank Kessie will cost probably double what Lamina costs, and as reported by Le Foot or whatever it was called, or Foot Mercato or whatever it was yesterday.
Sounds legit.
Yeah.
What's Le Foot stand for?
Probably the Foot. I don't know.
I
didn't Foot Mercato or something like that.
They said Calcio Metro.
They Wolves wanted him on loan with, and this was a broken translation, either an option or obligation to buy him.
Be obligation, surely. He's a good player. He's a very good player.
We were linked with him last summer as well. When we
I'd take it.
Oh, Kessie was, yeah.
Lamina.
That was about Lamina, but the Kessie one, he would cost at least £30 million.
He's a very good player, but so is Lamina, so I'd be happy with either, to be honest. Kessie's a bit younger.
Can you see any of them edging anyone out?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Who though?
Dendoncker.
I think the team is so settled that we only need to add, well, as he's been saying all summer, is the quality to the bench, really.
That's why I think those two kids are good, because they've got something to prove.
I can't see them coming and challenging. I don't even know what positions they play. One's a winger, isn't he?
Yeah,
we don't play with
play striker.
So is this kid going to come in and challenge Moutinho for a place in the first team?
No, but he might challenge Neves.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like any Wolves fan can say, the starting 11 is strong and it's definitely top half potential. Obviously, it'd be nice to add players, but no disrespect to Ryan Bennett, he's probably the only one who could get nudged out of the team at the moment. Everyone else has sort of earned their place. Not saying Ryan Bennett hasn't, because I think Ryan Bennett's been good throughout the Championship and the Premier League campaign, but he's the only one that really has those lapses of concentration and so on. So
I don't think it's lapse in concentration. I think it's a lack of ability.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know where I'm coming from. So I think if we are starting the thing where we're signing players, I want them to compete with the players that are there. But you don't want to start unresting players just for the sake of it, just to bring in more players. I think what we've got at the moment is good enough. We just need good options there as well.
Moutinho's not going to play every game, either. And I'd rather someone else come in and play Morgan Gibbs White. No, but he's just not good enough.
No.
There's no... He may be in the future, but the minute he's not.
You compare him to Phil Foden, who's the same age. Phil Foden's
Like you.
10 times the player that Gibbs White is. And who is it that's somebody signed a contract recently who was in that under 17 team that was 100,000 a week or something. It was Hudson Odoi. You can't put them in the same bracket as Gibbs White because I know they haven't played a lot of first team football, but when they have, they've looked.
I don't know, because it's strange because against Newcastle I thought he looked good, although Newcastle were very poor.
He took his goal well. But
against City he didn't really. Well, no one really got to shine much. But against Crusaders first leg, I think he just tried too hard. Yeah. Second leg, when he came on, a similar sort of story. And this will sound daft, and I said it on the review, because the pitch was so small, it didn't suit him. But as a professional player at that level, you can't make excuse. Like, he should be able to play against anyone. But because the pitch was so small, he couldn't, and they were so deep, it was so hard for him to do anything.
He was snatching at his chances and rushing all the time. I mean, even that one that you went through 1-on-1 with the keeper.
Got to be scoring them.
Yeah, the keeper did well to come out and smother it a little bit, but he should be cool enough to be able to just slot it past an amateur keeper. I mean, he's poor, really poor, I think. I know he's is he 19 now?
Yeah.
Considering that when he played against Chelsea at home, he was brilliant, and like since then, he's just got worse and worse.
Part of it is I think he's believing his own hype, because after that game, Shearer was on at him saying he was amazing, Danny Murphy and all them lot.
I think that's the issue.
And I remember vividly the game after Newcastle away. He tried to do some sort of pirouette on the edge of our own box and lost possession, and Nuno you could see on telly, he was going at him like mad. I think he's doing those stupid things and thinking that he's too good. But that was a couple of months ago. But now I think he's so desperate to score at home in particular that every time he's getting the ball within sight of the goal, he's snatching at his chances. Rather than, we saw when he was in China when he thought nobody was watching, he took that goal really, really well.
It's a great finish, though.
Yeah, he just needs to relax and stop thinking.
But no doubt there's quality and potential there. It's just got to come, hasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if an attack, say if Martinez drops out, the only other attacking option we've got there is Gibbs White. So we just need someone a bit different, I think, in the middle, because you can't play those three in the middle all season. They'll be knackered.
They won't.
But I think, like what you said, believe in his own hype. As you said, he won the under-17s World Cup. You look at all the players around him now. Foden, whatever, at City. Foden. Ryan Brewster, although he's not been playing for Liverpool, he's got that Champions League medal.
Klopp likes him. He's going to play a bit this season.
Well, that's what I mean, though. But like, more than looking around and thinking, Angel Gomez as well at United, he's looking around at all his mates, thinking, Sancho, Sandro, yeah.
It's Spurs.
These lads are all on 120 grand a week, driving these flipping Lamborghinis, and I'm trying to still. I want to prove.
I think the Europa League has saved him from going out on loan.
Definitely, yeah. But it's a big change. I know his performances have been underwhelming the last couple of weeks, but it's a big, this season especially, it's a big opportunity for him. And if he can knuckle down, then it just clicks for him. Because with Jota, he had those disappointing start of the season, just clicked for him, didn't it, at the right time? And
he's got to have the right attitude. He's got to have the right attitude.
I think that is a big, that's the big problem. We're going to move on now to
Patrick Cutrone. It's a big problem.
We asked on Twitter. I know we joked about this. I didn't ask at home. We asked on Twitter the Wolves 1920. The dog was pretty good at this as well. The final league position for Wolves, a Europa League finish, our top goal scorer and player of the season. So I did say I'd shout a few out. So there were loads. There were over 120. So I'll only shout out a few. We're going to do a podcast. We'll do a podcast extra with me shouting every single one out. No, we'll quickly shout out a few.
Get ads in there.
Ads Sidaway, he reckons an 8th place finish.
He says semi.
A semi.
What's he on about there?
Semi-final for the Europa League.
What's the question? What do I have now?
Semi-final for the Europa League. Jota top goal scorer and Ruben Dias as the player of the season.
Dazzling Davies, Dias.
Liam Bagnall says final league position 9th. Europa League finish semis. Top goal scorer Jota, and player of the season.
He played for us for 3 years.
No. Player of the season, the Donk. Harry
Player of the season, the Donk.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Doesn't do anything.
Hey!
It was the 6.5 out of 10 every game.
Yeah,
really getting player of the season.
He's like Kevin Foley.
No, I love Den Donker, I do.
Yes, I do, but he's not going to be player of the season in a million years.
Harry Mansell reckons we'll finish 9th as well.
He said
Quarter-final Europa League finish, Jota to become top goal scorer and player of the season. Huge Wolf reckons it will be an 8th place finish, first knockout round of the Europa League again. A Jota double for top goal scorer and player of the season. Josh Downs reckons a 6th place finish, round of 32 for the Europa League finish. Top goal scorer to be Jimenez and player of the season to be Johnny.
Johnny?
Yeah.
What are these people on?
That's strong.
Johnny and Dendon.
Gary Poundland
Really?
rowing, final league position 4th. Europa League finish winners. Jimenez to be top goal scorer and Neves to win player of the season.
I don't think Neves will win player of the season.
No.
Let's quickly go through a few more. Dave 34345480.
So his phone number.
Yeah.
Account number, I think.
You got your sort code as well, Dave. Final league position 12th due to the Europa League games. Europa League finished group stages, so he thinks he'll finish 12. Yeah.
So we'll be out by Christmas and then have a terrible second half of the season.
To be fair, that's the only one I've seen that says knocked out of the groups. He reckons top goal scorer will be Jota, alongside player of the season for Jota as well. Sheldon Wood reckons it will be 6th place, Europa League semi-final, Jimenez and a Dharma Traore player of the season.
Yes.
Matt will have your number as well, Sheldon. Let's quickly have a couple more. Steve Watson reckons it will be a 4th place finish, winners of the Europa League, top goal scorer Patrick Cutrone, and player of the season Ruben Diaz. Rose-tinted Wolves glasses firmly on.
Why have people said Ruben Diaz when
I think
Dazzling Dave has told us that he's not coming to
If
Wolves?
Dazzling Dave has said it's not happening, it's obviously not happening.
Do you know what I
He's he's got his
Font of knowledge.
ITK.
his finger firmly on
Well,
the
this is an
pulse
interesting
in
one. This is from
Finger firmly
Philip.
firmly up his arse.
Philip. I think he's a German Tottenham fan by the looks of it, but he's a
Why did he
Philip.
reply to you?
Yeah, he reckons Wolves will finish 7th. What?
Europa League.
League finish a good Group 3 / worst Group 2. I don't know what he means with that. Maybe I don't know.
Is how you spell verse? Is it as in like WURST or
Verse.
This is verse.
Batter first. Top goal scorer reckons Patrick Cutrone and player of the season Rui Patricio. Okay. Well, we've had
It
loads.
doesn't have
So,
anything to do, Patricia.
I know, apologies.
With Ruben Diaz in defence.
he's not coming, Dazzling Dave.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
not
so-
coming, and his mate.
Yeah.
What was his mate called again? Jose.
Pablo, I think.
Jingling
Ruben.
Jose.
We
Do you
saw
watch
someone
it?
say Cutrone because he'll score loads in Europe. I think that's a pretty. We could see a 25-30 goal a season forward this season. If
I don't think it'd be Cutrone there. I think it'd take him a year to sort of settle into English
who
football.
knows? Who knows? Anyway,
Who knows?
let's have our final league positions. Tom, we're not saying between 8th and 10th.
No,
Genuinely. Well, I've had a bet with 2 people 2 years ago that Wolves would have Champions League football at the end of this season, so I'm going to have to say 4th. But I don't think that's too.
Win Europa League.
No, I don't think we'll win the Europa League. I think that 4th isn't a ridiculous.
Help yourself, mate.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, get an orange surprise.
I don't think it's.
Surprisingly left.
I don't think. I don't think 4th is too far out of the question. I'd be very, very shocked if we were to get it. But if you look at Chelsea, haven't got any strikers, and they've got Fat Frank in charge.
How long you had these?
Why? They're a gift from a child who didn't like me.
That's an orange surprise. There ain't no orange in that, I tell you. Probably about 4 years out of date. Carry on, Tom.
Yeah. Chelsea in disarray. Arsenal have signed Pepe, but apart from
Who
that,
did they sign disarray from?
their defence is terrible. Arsenal, United
Good evening.
signing Swansea's reserve team. I think we could finish above those 3. I think we could. I think if we can.
What
Beat-
whiskey did you put in that mug, by the way?
It was beanies and nutty hazelnut.
Yeah.
I think we could finish 4th.
Troy Beanies.
Matt.
Final league position 10.
10.
Realistically, I do agree.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. I'd be
Tom's
happy,
got a
I'd be
safe
happy
place.
with 4th as well.
Fuck it, we'll win it.
I don't know. I reckon.
I don't remember asking, did you?
No.
I'm asking myself. 8th. Yeah.
I think anything around about where we finished last year is relative success.
Europa League finish, Tom.
I think if we have another cup,
Quarterfinals.
Was that was
I
the
think-
probably most popular.
Yeah, I think once the boys from the Champions League come down into it, I think it'll make it a bit harder.
Yeah. Matt.
I think last 32.
Which one's that? Like the first knockout round?
Yeah.
First, yeah.
Yeah. I reckon quarterfinals as well, or round of 16, which is the one before it. Yeah. Second knockout round. But
See
yeah.
you neck out on the line. Which one would it be?
Second
on the
knockout.
fence.
Second knockout round, I think.
Okay, so
Just like you.
one of us will be right.
Yeah, just like you saying, or unless we get knocked out this week, you know. Top goal scorer.
Jota.
Yeah, that's your PFA young player.
Yeah. Well, no.
Just player.
Yeah.
Go on.
As Dazzling Day would say,
Jimenez.
I hope he watches and realises that we're not.
He won't be watching this foreign.
Oh, you will. He loves it. Oh,
Hi, David.
Pardon me.
I think Jimenez as well. You got to think he's already bagged 2 goals.
Oh, we counted in European goals.
Yeah, that's all.
It's gotta be
It's
Jimenez.
mad though, isn't it? Like this game, they count towards that top goal scorer.
Well, I'm in Europe on my FM save, and it's like September, and him and has got 12 goals.
Yeah. Scorer.
But I think, as you said earlier on about him tiring or not playing as many games because
yeah,
will
true.
come in, I think that might affect him. Jota, I think, will play week in, week out.
Player of the season.
Jota.
Diogo.
Ruben Dias.
Ruben Dias.
Jota.
Yeah, go. Morgan Gibbs White. This isn't my player of the season, but I've just got a feeling that Neto he'll
Behave.
Yeah, I reckon he'll do something this season.
Yeah, go on loan to Colchester and score 3 goals.
Berry.
I'm gonna be boring. I'll go Jota as well. Sorry.
Obviously, we're being diverse.
Yeah. Right, we've got questions from the Twitterverse as well.
Twitter sphere.
The old Golden Black says, will this become a weekly podcast? Fortnightly, Tom.
Great question.
Fortnightly.
I think we're going to go fortnightly.
Yeah. We might do it weekly, but Tom will be axed at that point. So
I'll be doing it weekly.
Yeah,
every
on his
Sunday.
own. He won't get uploaded though. This one's from Dan Vincent. I mean, we spoke and joked about it a little bit. What do you think our chances are of signing number one target, Ruben Dias?
We're not signing him because Dazzling Dave's mate said that we're not signing him. So we're not.
We are joking, by the way.
If we sign Ruben Dias, I'll do another Dome trio with me here.
Yeah, peroxide blonde, yeah?
Yeah, I'll get frosted tips.
Yeah.
Deal?
Deal.
Go on, Tom, shake on it. Frosted tips.
Christ, I'm going to hold him.
These we had some good questions from Andy. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Number 1, is playing Jota as a 10 with Raul and Cutrone up front a viable option when trying to break down deep blocks?
No.
If we don't sign this Lemina, because I think he'd be the man. Him. Yeah, he'd be the man I think to do that. But with the players that we've currently got now, I think it's possible.
No, I don't think he's got the ability to do it.
Jota.
Not Spurs number 10.
No, you just no. Not. I don't think he would be like that. He's got the ability, but they're just all intertwined. They'd all rotate similar to the Championship season.
His short passing is the only thing that's a little bit off for me. You know, if you were threading a through ball to 2 of your strikers, I think a Martino would be better there.
But look at the
you need a Martino and a Jota, but with legs. Like a Jota and Martino.
So, Mike Bassett when he crashed at the football.
Mark Lawrence.
Yeah, Mark Lawrence. We're right out of budget.
But Jota and Jimenez, those little short passes and quick passes, you can't tell me that you can't do short passes.
No, but like short threaded passes, I don't know. I just don't think he's suited to play as number 10.
He's going to be the PFA Player of the Year. He's
going
to have
Bernardo
to be able
Silva's
to do
going to
this.
be PFA Player of the Year.
No, I think Jota's. I think he.
Lost the question now. Yeah. All right. That one's up for debate. You've got 30 to 50 million to spend. Do you put it on a centre back such as Ruben Dias or an attacking midfielder?
Firstly, I'd probably buy a house.
From what the squad needs, it needs to be an attacking midfielder. I think we're okay. I think
before Vallejo, probably would have been Dias possibly.
Yeah, I think what we've got now, I think centre backs are.
Yeah, attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Names?
Madison.
Olmo.
Do you reckon you get Madison 50 million?
Nah, not a
50
chance.
million, yeah. Yeah.
How much?
You would.
Nah. Well, Maguire's has gone for 80. They're going to want similar money.
Yeah, before that.
Danny Olmo.
Yeah, he won't be Madison, but you know.
After Johnny got minutes at right back versus Crusaders, do you think this happens in the future in the Premier League with Ruben Vinagre at left back?
Yeah, we've spoken about it before, haven't we?
Yeah, that's a use.
I don't think Vinagre was great against Crusaders though. I know he scored his goal, but I didn't think he pulled any trees up.
He didn't have a lot of time though either.
Nah, he had like one touch I think on the ball. He did a couple step overs.
No,
Mikey Burrows.
First leg.
You know Mikey Burrows, was it Steve Daly with him on the comms?
I don't know, I wasn't listening.
Hey, watch on the YouTube. I don't know if it's the first. I think it was Jimenez's first goal. Mikey Burrows is commentating. When the ball goes in, Steve Daly goes, "Oh yes, get in!" Like he's a fan. I think Burrows must have been there. Like.
Jimenez.
He does it again for the second goal. Oh, what a goal!
Jimenez.
You know, like an Andy Gray, he's meant to be the co-commentator.
Yeah, beauty.
Oh, what a hit!
Don't save those.
Take a boo.
Take a boo.
Wonders News reckons he thinks Lamina will be a good option. What do we think? I mean, we've spoke about it previously. Yes.
Pick ones that we haven't answered, Dave.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Man.
Sorry,
Okay,
man.
dudes.
Crunching up 4 says,
Gnarly.
Crunching up 4, is it too early to send Christmas cards? Or should I wait a few more weeks?
That's a great question.
I'll repeat, we're not the fancast.
Yeah.
I'll answer that. No, it's too early.
How much truth is in the Mario
It's too late.
Lamina rumours? Have you got any Gabonese in the no journo? Is there any?
Is that
Is there any truth in the Mario Lamina rumours?
Yeah, well, there's obviously truth, yeah, but I don't.
We don't know.
Looking at me like I know what
There
I'm on
are
about.
there are rumours.
I can confirm there are rumours.
Controversial one. This is from Wanderers Weekly. Maybe it was a better idea to keep Cav and loan Adama. This isn't even a question,
Oh,
it's
I
just a
saw
statement.
Fuck
Cav has shown he can provide in the most vital of times. Loan Adama elsewhere to regain form.
When?
That wasn't a question, so we're
Southampton.
skipping.
At home.
Is it this one? Alright, Matt, keep silent and don't swear. This is from Kev Moneyball Mace. Is it acceptable to now call Traore a failed signing? £18 million player whose natural position we now don't have in our formation and who looks weaker at other positions. He's been tried at he's been tried at than it doesn't work.
Says it already,
Finley Crowe says he was man of the match last week at right wing back, and Kev Moneyball May says against a part-time team. Thoughts? Is it a failed signing, Tom? I think you'd be the font of knowledge on this one.
It's a lot of money to pay for an impact sub that doesn't really impact that much.
Yeah, I'm skipping it
West-
before Matt fucking punches the mic on the table.
West Ham away, he's the only time he's scored. He scored
Don't
one,
worry, Matt. We'll skip. We won't talk about
one
it.
Premier League goal in
Because,
70 appearances or whatever.
I love our listeners and viewers, but they sometimes do have a problem with us babbling on about Adama a bit too much. But I mean,
He's a good player, he's just a bit misunderstood.
He just needs to learn how to play football.
Yeah. He needs a brain. What do you think? This is a weird one. What was the point in installing the rail seating when plans are in place to replace the stand? Surely it's a waste of time and money.
I'm not going to do the South Bank yet, though.
They're not removing that stand anyway. They're just going to extend behind it, aren't they? So
I don't know what. Yeah. That's it, Mike. They're not getting rid of it, son. Nice.
No, I don't know. They might have to knock bits of it down.
not of what they've already.
Yeah, but
got.
I think that's
Only
it's
the
cheap
back.
option though, mate. They screwed up. You see all the stuff there.
The-
So they put the wrong rows. You know, normally you have it's a little sticker on the edge of the seat, row A, B, and C. Like I got to, you know what I mean. I got to the ground and I saw our row and it was empty, but all my mates were on the row in front, and I thought surely we're here because they're not people who normally sit behind are there. But like all the rows are wrong, so like the letters were in the wrong place. Or
There was a row missing altogether.
Yeah.
There's a couple of rows missing.
Yeah. Well, and wasn't the
letter I was there twice and then missed a letter or something. I don't know.
Darren Plummer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And there loads of like sharp edges on the seats as well, or something.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
that.
you know they said it was to like it would increase the room as well. So obviously to stand it seemed like it. As soon as you sit down, fucking hell, like it's like this, like the flipping.
Is there a bar like for your eyes?
No.
If you sit down, yeah.
It looked awful in the North.
Standing
Bank,
up
in
is
that
nice. I
corner.
was resting. I was chilling like that. It was alright.
In the North Bank, it looked like they all had desks or something. All
Yeah, but
sitting
then you
there.
see the
press
Celtic.
box.
Did you see the Celtic fans?
Yeah.
They got a picture of the North Bank. So they've installed safe standing into the Molyneux, and this is what happens. I thought, yeah, you've got the flipping.
It's only for away supporters to keep it a little bit safe.
So are they going to be in there all the time, the away fans? They're not going to be in the Steve Ball at
I
all.
don't know. It's daft.
I would.
think. Oh no, comparing Steve Ward's better atmosphere.
Going on
Yeah.
to the stadium development though, I think that those plans are such shit.
Do you think?
I think they should just knock it down and
The whole ground?
Where are we
yeah,
going to
build
play?
us- Build. No, but
Waffles.
like how Spurs. I know Spurs went to Wembley, but like they developed it
Over the top.
like.
I
We
don't
need
know.
a stadium.
I
What's
don't
the
think it
point?
works.
I don't think it.
State of an art stadium. It looks shit still
It don't
No,
work.
it doesn't.
from the outside.
Shut up, Matt.
No, it doesn't.
Zaku Amazai
Oh,
says,
yeah, I know.
do you think that spending 50+ million on a centre back is wasted money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the minute.
Oh,
yeah.
at the minute.
Oh, yeah. If you've got 15
But for a
minutes to
player of
spend-
that quality, it's not a waste, is it really?
It's not a waste, but like it could be used elsewhere.
Yeah, it's just because of where we are in the transfer window. If we wouldn't spend.
And who do you think is Wolves' last signing if there is only one more?
What of all time?
Let's say this week, this window.
Messi.
Sir Stanley Matthews Jr.
Lemina,
I think it'd be Kessa.
I've got Lemina.
I think one of those
Yeah.
two.
Which one you having?
I don't know. don't know either of them. I haven't even bothered watching YouTube clips of them yet.
Well, you watch our channel, Tom. You'll learn.
Well, Lamina put a video up himself when he was trying to force a move in 1.5 times speed.
Oh, actually, no.
He looks quick and real, isn't
Mate, some of the goals he scored, I thought, mate,
He
if teams are backing up against us and you've got him, you score a few goals. Rocket. Sheldon Wood, do you feel we have done enough in this transfer window to challenge for Champions League football? If not, where do you think we will place?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Champions League? To challenge for Champions League.
How far?
Fifth or sixth, I think, is very reasonable to compete for this season, and therefore fourth.
We strengthened. I think we'll be okay. I don't think
we haven't had a marquee signing.
We finished seventh with a team that pretty much was championship team.
I still think there's a marquee signing to come. That isn't Ruben Diaz.
Who knows? I think that's all anyway, guys. We've probably only eaten 3 or 4 biscuits, but if you do want to comment and pretend that we've eaten loads...
Well, I got a bollocking last week off someone saying they're not going to take the biscuits away.
So
that's why we've done that. But if any biscuit companies are watching, or supermarket owners that want to
donate... If anyone wants to sponsor us...
Or my channel.
What's your channel again?
It's the old goal. I need to plug it a lot more.
Yeah, I'll give you a plug.
Because you've got more subscribers than me now, so the old goal and black.
You've been keeping an eye on it?
Yeah,
he's
I've got it set up on my laptop. Yours too, like that.
Good to see nothing about it.
We need a jingle. We need a
still let you come in.
We need a jingle as well, don't we? If anyone is a voice artist,
Shiv on Twitter, he made mine. I know it's not, it's not right.
Which one? An intro.
Yeah, the little intro music.
Shiv as in Shiv got locked.
Shiv got locked.
No, we need someone like the Talking Walls podcast. Well, just not really like that.
We'll
clip that.
There's the soundbite.
But if anyone's a voice actor or a company owner and wants to sponsor the pod, we'll get a little logo painted on Tom's kitchen wall here.
So I'll wear one of your t-shirts. I'll maybe come and do some. If you've got anything that needs opening, me and Dave will come and do it.
I'll tattoo your thing across my forehead.
Yeah. So yeah.
And if anyone ever wants to offer us like a restaurant
or a better place to record.
Oh yeah, if like a restaurant wants us to come in and sample some of the food, and obviously we give you a little bit of a shout out about it on the podcast, how good it was, then obviously there's 3 hungry growing lads here who would happily take that on.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm preparing for 0 messages off this, but
we're getting inundated now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, guys, let's sign off. Tom, where can people find you?
The Old Gold and Black on YouTube.
Twitter
is something like the Old Gold 1877 or Old Gold Black 1877, something like that.
You're not going to find him on Twitter then. Matt, socials.
M Cooper Wrights, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.
Nice.
And Matthew Cooper on LinkedIn if anyone values a connection.
Business owners, hit us up.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Dave as a Party on Twitter and YouTube, and Talking Walls everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
How about your OnlyFans?
OnlyFans is locked at the moment. Too much dirty content. But be sure, if you're listening on whatever you're listening on, Spotify, iTunes, whatever, you can leave a review or comment. Please feel free to do so. It does mean a lot and it makes us very happy. And until next time, it makes us very happy. In a couple of weeks' time, hopefully we'll have the first podcast of the season where we're hopefully going to be reviewing the.
This is the pre-season.
This is the pre-season.
The last of the pre-season.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks we're going to be pre-reviewing the start of the Premier League season and the Europa League third knockout round. Lads, you're putting me off. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks for listening. Reviewing. I'm going to sign off here. Until next time, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all very, very soon.